up, bodyweight warriors, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to present a case for the banana handstand, sort of, but generally I want to talk about the straight line. A big focus for many beginners when they're starting out with learning the handstand is that line. You want your handstand to be straight. It looks pretty, it looks good for the gram, and it's kind of, I guess, what you see a lot of people who are further on in their handstand development doing. But is this actually holding you back more than it is helping you? Well, let's talk about it, as I said. Now, this is just my opinion, and it probably is different to many other people out there, but I will try to be as balanced as I can. I'd love to hear your opinion on this. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know, kind of join the conversation and share with me your experience. So first off, let's lay out some foundations. Let's understand what comprises the handstand. Now, when Ulrich and I teach workshops, we break down the handstand into 3 individual sections. Number 1 is entry. Entry is, how do you get into the handstand? Do you kick up? Do you press? Do you jump? Etc. You then have balance. Balance is, can you hold the handstand? Can you maintain? And then point number 3 is body line / shapes. What shape is your body when you're holding this balance? Now, when learning to handstand, these 3 components can be trained independently, and then when you put them and piece them all together, you have the end result, the end product. The reason I mention this is because it separates and creates a distinction between balance and body line or shape. Balance is balance regardless of shape. It's the ability to hold. If we're going by the dictionary definition, it is an even distribution of weight, enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady. For this reason, balance can come in many forms. Some are harder than others, some are more efficient than others, some look prettier than others, but they are all forms of balance. When learning to handstand, balance is the single most important thing initially. Once you can balance, you provide yourself with the time and the control to manipulate the other 2 components, the entry and the body line or shape. If you cannot balance, then the other 2 components aren't really that useful to you. What are you going to do when you kick up and nail that perfect kick up? You can't balance it, you're just going to fall straight out. So a lot of the times I see people fixate definitely early on in their handstand journey with this straight line, and often it holds them back with their progress. Now you can think of this akin to learning a song on the guitar. Initially, it ain't gonna sound so good. You're learning the positions, you're learning the movements, you're learning to connect those things together, and it's gonna sound a little bit rough around the edges. But as you practice, it starts to actually resemble the thing that you're trying to create. You don't start off with the perfect plucking, the perfect finger position, the perfect notes from the start. And the same can be said for handstands. Initially, your handstand is going to be a little bit rough around the edges. Anyone that when it comes to handstand, they are going to have the same process when they learn as well. So if in this instance we could do a chest to wall balance, but we can only hold it for a second, but we're in that nice straight line, or we can use a back to wall balance, we're in a bit of a banana, but we can hold it for 5 seconds. The person who can hold it for 5 seconds is probably going to make faster progress. The battle initially with learning is that time element. Now, this doesn't mean that line isn't useful. There is obviously a reason for it, and there's a reason that many of the people who are in a very high level of handstands go on about it so much. So certainly as we progress with handstands, as we go to more advanced stuff, having poor shoulder flexibility, having a poor line can affect our progress. When it comes to shapes, when it comes to moving some weight outside of the center, you're gonna have a much harder time with bad shoulder position than you are with a good shoulder position. You're probably generally going to struggle with efficiency as well. It's just a little bit less efficient. It's more intensive to hold that position outside of that nice straight stacked line because you're transitioning more into muscular strength as opposed to structural strength to hold the position. If you ever get to the point of working towards one arm as well, you're probably going to be severely limited if you don't have a good line, a good shoulder position. In fact, I was certainly in that case. That's what I just worked on for the first 6 months, just to bake it so I was in a place where I could actually train for the one-arm handstand. For this reason, I wouldn't recommend just neglecting the line, that body line altogether. Working on shoulder flexibility, working on body awareness is something that I would have at every single point along the way, along your learning process of the handstand. But don't let it stop you doing the thing that matters initially, which is balancing. So that is some rambles on the line with handstands. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased because I would say my handstands don't necessarily look the prettiest. It's not something I've been massively concerned on. I'm more interested in doing the thing than making the thing look really, really pretty. Obviously, people like Ulrich, who I coach with, would have a slightly different take on this because his handstands just look extra nice. But ultimately, it depends what you want to get out of it. And as I said, I would love to hear your opinion on this one, because I think learning to handstand is quite an individual experience, and I'd love to hear what helped you out. If you just enjoyed this video, found it interesting, hit that thumbs up button to support the channel. Right next to it is also that subscribe button so you don't miss out any more future videos, whether that be handstand related, mobility related, or building up some of those body weight strength skills. But that has basically been it for this week, guys. I'll catch you in the next episode. Have a strong week, and